All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kah Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. All right, that bonds to our apostles, our elders, the great millstone. Tells this truth, peace and salutations unto you elect out there. Um, so, this is the book of Luke 18 and verse 1. And it says, and he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought to always pray and not to faint, saying, there was in a city a judge which feared not the Most High, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while. But after he said within himself, though I fear not the Most High, nor regard men, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming unto me she weary me. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith. Shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cried day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth. All right, so the Lord said that he will avenge the widow by her continual coming unto me, lest she weary me. So shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cried unto him day and night? All right, nevertheless, right, he said, I will avenge them speedily. Now, Second Esdras chapter 3 and verse 2, and it says, for I saw the desolation of Zion and the wealth of them that dwelt at Babylon, and my spirit was sore moved. So then I began to speak words full of fear to the Most High. Now, Ezra seen the wealth of them at Babylon in the present, while he was at Babylon, and the future Babylon. All right, because he seen visions of us in these times. All right. Therefore, he spake words full of fear to the Most High. All right. Now, the times that we're in now are the fulfillment of these things that were seen by the prophets, which are back here today fulfilling that word. Now, we have seen them that dwell carelessly on the earth, or we've seen them, the wicked waxing great and strong, in the sight of us in our poverty. I tell you in Lamentations 1:1, which matter of fact, it says, how doeth the city sit solitary? That's the holy city. How doeth the city sit solitary? That was full of people. How is she become a widow, she that was great amongst the nations and princes amongst the provinces? How is she become a tributary? She weepeth sore in the night, and her tears are on her cheeks. Among all her lovers, she hath none to comfort her, and all her friends have dealt treacherously with her, and they become her enemies. Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction, and because of great servitude she dwelleth amongst the heathen, and she findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her between the straits. All her persecutors have overtook her by her straits, and did what? It says, the ways of Zion do mourn, because none come to the solemn feast, and all her gates are desolate. Her priests sigh, her virgins are afflicted, and she is in bitterness. She is in bitterness. It says, her adversaries are the chief, and her enemies prosper. Right? Spread themselves as a green bay tree on earth, right? Her adversaries are the chief, and her enemies prosper. Woe to thee, out of thy land, Ecclesiastes 10. All right, and 15, 16 on down says, woe to thee, O land, when thou king is a prince, when I king is a child, and thy princes eat for strength in the morning. All right, woe to thee, land, when thy king is a child. So their enemies are chief and they prosper. All right, Lamentation 1:5, right? Her adversaries are chief, and her enemies prosper. For the Lord have afflicted her for the multitude of her transgressions, and her children are gone to captivity before the enemy. And from the daughter of Zion, all her beauty is departed. Her princes are become like harts that find no pasture. And they are gone without strength before the pursuer. All right. They're gone without strength before the pursuer. So I saw the desolation of them that was in Zion, right? And the wealth of them that was at Babylon, and my spirit was so moved, as Israel said. So Ecclesiastes 10 and 16 says, woe to thee, O land, when thy king is a child, and thy princes eat in the morning. Blessed art thou, O land, when thy king is the son of nobles, and thy princes eat in due season for strength and not for drunkenness. By much slothfulness the building decayeth, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth down, right? So we'll be blessed when thy king is the son of nobles, not when thy king is a white man, is a devil, is an adversary, is the chief of the earth. It says in Isaiah, the 23rd chapter in the 8th verse, it says her nobles, her aka her chief men, her traffickers are the honorable men of the earth. You know. So it says, for the Lord have okay, 6th verse. Lamentation 1 and 6. Brother. So it says, and from the daughter of Zion, all her beauty is departed, and her prince are become like hearts that find no pasture, and they are gone without strength before the pursuer. Yeah, these devils. Jerusalem remembered in the days of her affliction and of her miseries all her pleasant things that she had in the days of old, when her people fell into the hand of the enemy, and none did help her. The adversary saw her and did mock her Sabbaths. Yep. They mock you and keep it in high holidays. They mock you in your temples and your they mock you for saying that you're the Israelites, you know. So they mock your Sabbaths. Jerusalem have grievously sinned, you know, they laugh at you out there, you know, which that don't phase you anymore. But when you first came into the truth, you was you know, felt some type of way. You was you know, you got a little flustered while people thought of you, you know, being an Israelite, your family and all that, but all that's the weak nature, you know, the mortal thoughts. It says in 2 14:14, put off now the weak nature, put off now the mortal thoughts, because the opinions of these people are irrelevant. They are dead men anyways. So that'll be your 2/3 of your people and the heathens, whatever they have to say about the truth, you know, it's not for you to be ashamed of, because they should be ashamed of their ways, you know, because you the one doing right. Now it says Lamentation 1 and 8, it says, Jerusalem have grievously sinned, therefore she has removed all that honored her, despise her. Because they have seen her nakedness, yes, she sighed and turned it backward. Her filthiness is in her skirts, and she remembered not her last end. Her filthiness is in her skirts. She'll become a whore. She remembered not her last end, therefore she came down wonderfully. She had no comforter. O Lord, behold mine affliction, for the enemy had magnified himself. Yeah, her adversaries are chief, her enemies prosper. 10th verse said, the adversary has spread out his hand upon all her pleasant things, for she have seen that the heathen entered into her sanctuary, whom thou didst command that they should not enter into thy congregation. All her people sigh, they seek bread, and they have given their pleasant things for meat to relieve the soul. Says, see, O Lord, consider, for I become vile. It is nothing to you, all ye that pass by. Behold, and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow. See, in other words, is there any suffering as unto my suffering? Because the affliction of the daughter of Zion can't be compared to anybody else's affliction. Over 200 million, you know, so-called blacks, you know, died in the slave trade, transatlantic slave trade. That's the number. That's a low number, you know, because you got to count the Northern Kingdom, you know. You got to count the Gadites and the Reuben and Issachar, you know. That was all over here, man. You know, the tribe of Zebulun, the tribe of, you know, Asher, you know, all these tribes, you know, that was over here being enslaved, not just Judah, Benji, and Levi. You know, we all, the scripture say that Judah and Benji, Judah and Ephraim was oppressed together. and under and here in this place, on in the western hemisphere, on the west side, the end of the earth. Scripture say the end of the earth, um, and the Americas, throughout the Americas. So it said Lamentations 1 and 12. Is it nothing for you, all ye that pass by? Behold and see if there be any sorrow like unto my sorrow, which is done unto me, wherewith the Lord have afflicted me in the day of his fierce anger. Yeah. So the word desolation goes into sorrow, grief, personal affliction. Yeah. Action of land waste, destruction, expulsion of an inhabitant. Yeah, we were expelled from our lands. You know, cast away. So that's why it says the captive exile hates that he may be loosed. You know. So it said desolation, devastation, hopelessness, despair. So what sorrow, what desolation is like the desolation of the Israelites? That says in as it says in the what was that? Just clicked on it. Yeah, the 12th verse, Lamentations 1 and 12. All right, so it goes on to say, a condition of being ruined, a wasted, destroyed, a desolate place, a devastated or lifeless region. Yeah, that's our people. The Lord said, "I will scatter you, 7 ways." Right? What do you say? Said, "I will." You shall flee 7 ways before your adversaries, for your enemies. Deuteronomy 28:7, and the Lord shall cause thy enemies to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thee. Before thy face, and they shall come out against thee 1 way, and they'll flee before thee 7 ways. That's if you keep the commandments. That's if you do the right thing. Because once you read down from the 15th verse, the Lord give you all the curse, that shall overtake and come into thee. You know, um, if thou wouldest obey, right? So Lamentation 1:13, from above have he sent fire into his bones. See, because the judgment comes from on high. He has sent fires into his bones, and it prevailed against them. That's affliction. That's diseases. All right, that you feel that fire in your bones catching hell. That's, in other words, you're catching hell, and it prevailed against them. He have spread a net for my feet, and he turned me back. He had made me desolate and faint all the day. The yoke of my transgressors is bound by his hands, like it. They are wreathed and come up upon my neck. He had made my strength to fall. The Lord have delivered me into their hands, from whom I am not able to rise. Yeah, we are not able to rise because the yoke is too great for you. You don't have no power as a worm. I tell you in Isaiah 41st chapter, thy worm Jacob, you're not able to deliver yourselves. The curses are too heavy. See, a nigga, he wants to circumnavigate these curses, man. Like he's Ferdinand Magellan or some shit. He wants to go around the curse. He wants to sell his soul. The scripts say it is not possible to escape thy hand. It's Sirach, the 16th chapter. Escape thine hand. So yeah, well, no, Wisdom of Solomon, 16th chapter, my bad. Wisdom of Solomon, 16th chapter. And it says, the 13th verse, it says, for thou hast power over life and death, and thou leadest to the gates of hell and bringest up again. A man indeed killeth through his malice, and the spirit, when it goeth forth, returneth not, neither the soul received up cometh up again. But it's possible to escape that hand. Yeah, so your people, they think they could run around these curses. They could lift up the yoke of the transgressor. That's all you ever see them talking about, getting free through money and, you know, financial loopholes and being some type of successful celebrity or whatever the hell. But that ain't gonna cut it, man. That ain't gonna cut it. All right, the Lord, this has to be a spiritual intervention from on high. No man shall buy thee, no man shall redeem thee. Yeah? So it goes on to say, the 15th verse, Lamentation 1:15. The Lord have trodden underfoot all my mighty men in the midst of me. That's why you ain't got no more men left amongst you. All you got is a bunch of soy boys, that run around cross dressing and doing all kind of women shit, feminine girly shit. That's what your men have turned into, you know, Babylonians, skirt dressers, cross dressers. It says, he have called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Lord have trodden the virgin and the daughter of Judah as in the winepress. Yeah, your women are turned out. For these things I weep, mine eye ran down with water, because the comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. And my children are desolate because the enemy has prevailed. Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. Yeah, that's a sign of prayer. Spread forth your hands. And it says, there is none to comfort her. The Lord have commanded concerning Jacob that his adversaries should be round about her. This is the Lord. The Lord brought this upon you. Jerusalem is as a minstrous woman amongst them, bleeding all over the place. It says, the Lord is righteous in doing this. The Lord is righteous in doing this. For I have rebelled against his commandment. Here I pray you all people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins, my young men are gone to captivity. I call for my lovers, but they deceive me. These other nations. My priests and my elders gave up the ghosts in the city while they sought their meat to relieve their souls. Behold, O Lord, I find distress. I'm in distress. My bowels are troubled. My heart is turned within me, for I have grievously rebelled. Abroad the sword bereaveth. At home there is as death. They have heard that I sigh. There is none to comfort me. All my enemies have heard of my trouble, and they are glad that thou hast done it. Yeah, they don't give a damn. All these other nations that you're trying to save, they're happy. They rejoice when they see the downfall of the daughter of Zion. It said, thou will bring the day that thou hast called, and they shall be like unto me. Let all their wickedness come before thee, and do unto them as thou hast done unto me for all my transgressions, for my sighs are many, and my heart is faint. Right? Do unto them as thou hast done unto me. The Lord said he's going to drink double. You're going to drink the dregs of the cup. Do thou unto them as thou hast done unto me. And let all the wickedness come before thee. So I tell you in Revelation, what is that? Drag of the cup. Oh, no. Isaiah the 51st chapter. Yeah. Which actually, oh yeah, it's right there. A spirit. Isaiah 51 and verse 16. It says, I have put my words in thy mouth, and I have covered thee in the shadow of my hand, that I may plant the heavens and laid the foundation of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. I perceived and I seen the desolation of Zion, the wealth of them that dwelt at Babylon, right? 2 3 and 2. All right, so it says Isaiah 51 and 16, that I have covered thee in the shadow of my hand, that I may plant the heavens and lay the foundation of the earth, and say unto Zion, thou art my people. Awake, awake, and stand up, O Jerusalem, which has drunken at the hand of the Lord the cup of his fury, that has drunken the dregs of the cup of trembling and wrung them out. Now, therefore, the Lord is going to wring them out on these devils. All their wickedness coming forth, and do us unto them as thou hast done unto me. Lamentations 1:22. Right. So it says, the 18th verse, Isaiah 51:18. It says, there is none to guide her among all the sons who she brought forth, neither is there any that taketh her by the hand of all the sons that she had brought up. These two things are come unto thee, right? Because the prophets weren't around for many moons. The Lord had hid himself. See, when did the Lord start to reveal himself? When the prophets came back on the scene. As soon as Abba Bivens and them started to take the mantle, and here it is all the way down to the truth you have today. But the fact of the matter is that there was people that knew that they were Israelites before. Like, you might meet a man that might, he might be 80, 90. He'll say that, oh yeah, I knew I was an Israelite since I was a kid. Well, yes, but you didn't have the full understanding. You knew that, you probably heard, Jake, they grew up in the islands, and Jake has a zeal, because this knowledge has been around for centuries, many moons since the beginning, right? But the full understanding, the full knowledge came by way of the service of prophets. Amos 3 and 7. I do nothing, surely the Lord do nothing except he reveal his secret unto the service of prophets. All right, so Isaiah 51 and Isaiah 51 and verse 19. It says, these two things I brought unto thee. Who shall be sorry for thee? Desolation, destruction, the famine, and the sword. By whom shall I comfort thee? Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets as a wild bull in the net. They are full of the fury of the Lord and the rebuke of thy power. Therefore, hear now this. Thou afflicted and drunken, but not with wine. Thus saith the Lord thy power. And the God that pleadeth the cause of his people, behold, I have taken out of thy hand the cup of trembling, even the dregs of the cup of my fury. Thou shalt no more drink it again. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee, which have said to thy soul, bow down that we may go over. And thou hast laid thy body as a ground and as a street to them that went over. Yeah, these nations have been walking all over us and establishing their kingdom. As it says, what? Thy body shall lie in the street of the great city. I think Revelation, the 11th chapter, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, right? Revelation 11 and verse 8 says, and their body shall lie in the street of their great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified, right? And they and the people in kindred and tongues, and they shall see their bodies, dead bodies, 3.5 days, and shall not suffer their bodies to be put in graves, right? Yeah, 350 years, man, since this tribe of Judah came into captivity, because the Lord said he would raise the tribes of Judah first, right? The tents of Judah first, right? But before that, our people was in captivity, over here in our people are already over here in America, I should say, but the captivity has gone forth, um, and for 3.5 days, for 350 years, the spirit of life entered into us, and we stood upon our feet speaking his truth, and our enemies beheld us, they seen us out there teaching his word, out there speaking his gospel, and great fear fell upon them, right? That saw us. That's why you see these devils scrambling, trying to take down your page, trying to do this, trying to do that, trying to accuse the brethren. Scripture say the accuser of our brethren, Revelation 12 and 12, is cast down, which accuse them before our power day and night. That's why we can't rest. All right. We can't really rest because it's not our rest. The Lord said, give him no rest until he make Jerusalem a praise on the earth. Isaiah 62 and 6. Give him no rest until he establish and make Jerusalem a praise on the earth. So the Lord said, Psalms 137 and 5 on down, it says that if I forget Jerusalem, let my tongue cleave to the roof of my mouth, and let my right hand forget her cunning. All right. So we have not forgot. Some of you niggas forgot, you forgot. You turned your back on the plow. You looked back to the world. You took breaks. You became lukewarm. You became your sword got dull, man. You stopped sighing and crying, which ultimately that's why you be left here. But anywho, Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 11 says, leave thy fatherless children, and I'll preserve them alive. And let thy widows trust in me. See, let thy widows trust in me. Blessed is the man that make it the Lord his arm, right? And Jeremiah the 17th chapter. Cursed be the man that make it flesh his arm. Put his trust in men, princes, and flesh and blood. Says 12 verse. For thus saith the Lord, behold, though they whose judgment was not to drink of the cup have surely drunken, and art thou he that shall altogether go unpunished? Thou shalt not go unpunished, but thou shalt surely drink of it. For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, and a waste. The white man will become the Lord, he said he swore by himself because he's no greater. Right? If my right hand bring me righteousness, right? Because basically I can't go to nobody else. The Lord goes to himself. The Most High, he has no greater. The ancient days had no beginning, no end. So I swore by myself, said the Lord, that Basra shall become a desolation, a reproach, a waste, and a curse. And all that the cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste, right? That Basra shall be a desolation, a reproach, and a waste, and a curse. That's what we are. But now he's going to become that. And all the cities thereof shall be a perpetual waste. I have heard a rumor from the Lord And an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. For lo, I'll make thee small amongst the heathen and despised amongst men. Thy terribleness have deceived thee. And the pride in our heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, that stand on that's the number one government. They hold the height of the hill, right? They hold the high ground. Like Anakin when he was fighting uh, before he came to Darth Vader, he was fighting what's the dude name? Ewan McGregor character, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yeah, Obi-Wan. He said, Anakin, I have the high ground. You can't win. But these devils, they had they know that here it is, they have the high ground, so they think that they could win, you know. But they're gonna get cut in half like Anakin got cut in half and burnt in the lake of fire. Anakin got his ass cut in half and he got burnt in the lake of fire. So it says, thou holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, said the Lord. Yeah, then they would just make a bird. I think they did something with the eagle. I don't know who they made it the bird. It was already the national bird. I don't know. Forgot what the news article had said, but I know Brett was talking about it the other day. But it says, I'll bring thee down from thence, said the Lord. Also, Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the places thereof. Yeah, astonished because is this the kingdom that is this the kingdom that caused the earth to tremble? Is this the merchant city? So great, Richard coming now 1 hour, right? The Lord told you that He's gonna bring this thing down quickly, a speedy riddance of the wicked that's in the land. So it says 18 verse, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and in the neighboring cities thereof, said the Lord power. No man shall abide there, neither shall a son of man dwell in it. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan against the habitation of the strong. But I will make him suddenly run away from her. From who? The daughter of Zion. Uh, And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? Who is like me? And who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom, and his purposes that he have purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. That all you devils, man. All you devils. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Yeah, these devils, these small headers gonna drive these devils into war. All these devils gonna be involved. The Temanites, all the Europeans, all these devils, all these so-called devils, the Edomites, which are the chief seat, the chief seat, come from America and from Britain. Which the Britain is the financial arm. The mother that bare thee, the scripture say that mother that bare thee shall be ashamed of thee. She's the financial arm that plays behind the scenes. That control the land of Israel, and America's the physical arm, the muscle, if you will, the that's why they got the sword, the military industrial complex, the most atomic weapons, nuclear weapons, we call it thermonuclear weapons, the most military bases and the most weaponry, that's the MO of these devils. So it says in Revelation 16 chapter 3, unclean spirits in the mouth of the frogs. I beheld three unclean spirits, Revelation 16, about the 13th verse, you know. So these would be part of those unclean spirits. The last one being the Catholic Church, which comes from the same beast, because there's no separation of church and state in this place. It's all one. So that would be the mouth of the false prophet, you know, that controls basically all these religions through that Jesus demon. But Jeremiah 49 and verse 20, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and surely he shall make the habitations desolate with them, all you devils. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall. Yeah, it's going to be a historical event such as like have not seen, such like has not been seen, man. You know. So it says, the earth is moved at the noise of that fall, at the cry, the noise thereof was heard in the Red Sea. Behold, He shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. It says in Jeremiah, Isaiah 31st chapter, 5th verse. It says, "With birds flying shall the Lord save Jerusalem," right? Israel. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty man of Edom be as the heart of woman in pangs. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight, right? Concerning Damascus, Hamath is confounded, and Arpad, for they have heard evil tidings. They are faint-hearted. There is sorrow on the sea. It cannot be quiet. There's no peace, save my power to the wicked. Isaiah 57:21. Right? So they can't be quiet, man. There's only sorrow on the sea for their asses. Damascus is waxed feeble, and they're turning herself to flee because we read it in Deuteronomy 28:7. They're gonna flee 7 ways from thee, man. All right, and turn herself to flee, and fear shall seize on her. Anguish and sorrows have taken her as a woman in travail. How is the city of praise not left, the city of my joy? Therefore, her young men shall fall in her streets, and all the men of war shall be cut off in that day, said the Lord of hosts. And I will kindle a fire in the wall of Damascus, and shall consume the palaces of Ben Hadad. Concerning Kedar and concerning the kingdoms of Hazor, which Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, shall smite, thus said the Lord power, arise, go up to Kedar, and spoil them into the east. Their tents and the flocks shall they take away, and they shall take to themselves their curtains and all their vessels, and their camels shall crown to them fear on every side. Flee, get you far, dwell deep, O ye inhabitants of Hazor, said the Lord, for Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, have taken counsel against you and have conceived a purpose against you. Yeah, arise and get you up onto the wealthy nation that dwelleth without care. All right, and said the Lord, which neither have gates nor bars, or doors alone. Yeah, these devils. That's why they referred to as the land of unwalled villages. You know, it says, 32nd verse, and their camels shall be a booty, a spoil. A booty is a spoil. You know, like when you deal with a woman, that's spoil. That's a spoil of war, referred to as booty, treasure. The word treasure go back to piratry, which means booty, treasure. You know, like your man, the Captain Sparrow, Jack Sparrow. You know, Captain Jack Sparrow will gather much booty out of the. You know, every time you watch one of these movies, he would be fighting for booty, for treasure. All right. So all their camels shall be a spoil or a treasure, meaning all their resources, and the multitude of their cattle a spoil. And I will scatter into all winds all there in the utmost corners, and I'll bring their calamity from all sides thereof, said the Lord power. And Hazor shall be a dwelling for dragons, and a desolation forever. And there shall no man abide there, nor any son of man dwell in it. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, king of Judah, saying, "Oh, Elam too, man, all you nations, been a partaker of the hope of Babylon." Where it says, "Asia, thou have been a partaker of the hope of Babylon, thy wretch." That's talking about all you damn nations, not just the Chinese, man. You know, not just the Japs. You know, not just you know, with the Koreans. All right, all you of the East. You know, you're all partakers. All you devils. Even the Arabs. You're partakers too. How you think they got all this wealth from making deals with Lawrence of Arabia, man? All right, they made deals to become to have cities like Jeddah, you know, to build shit like the line, you know, to build Dubai, to build Doha. You know, they had to make deals with that white man. If not, they wouldn't have none of that technology. Because where the hell they got that from? You know, where the hell they get all this knowledge from these devils? How to build up their cities, and how to enslave others so they could build. That was all done by design. Working hand in hand with these devils. That's why it says, "Though hand join in hand," Proverbs the 11th chapter, "the wicked shall not go unpunished." Now, it says, "Thus said the Lord of hosts, behold, I'll break the bow of Elam, the chief of their might. And upon Elam I'll bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and I will scatter them towards all those winds. And there shall be no nation wherewith the outcasts of Elam shall not come, for I will cause Elam to be dismayed before their enemies." And you see a lot of these little red daughters. You got the small hatters, then you got the red daughters. These are the red daughters. All right. You see a lot of them over here, man, and they establish their businesses and they do good over here, man. You know, over here staking up the place. Now it says, "I'll be dismayed before their enemies and before them that seek their life." And I'll bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, saith the Lord, and I will send a sword after them till I have consumed them. And I'll set my throne in Elam, and I will destroy from thence the king and the prince thereof. Yeah, because the it says that this kingdom should be established on the top of the mountains. Daniel 2:44, right? It says it should be on top of the mountains. You know, it's going to be on top. It's be built in Elam, in these nations. You know, on top of you by force. Saints of the Most High, Daniel 7:25 shall take the 18. Daniel 7:18 shall take the kingdom, possess the kingdom forever and ever, man. Daniel 2:44. In those days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in peace and consume. All these kingdoms shall stand forevermore. So Jeremiah 49 and verse 38, it says, I will therefore set my throne in Elam and will destroy from thence the king and the prince, said the Lord. But it shall come to pass in the latter days that I'll bring again the captivity of Elam, said the Lord. Yeah, in the latter days, what you shall consider this. You know, that's what we're doing, considering this, you know, through the word. Are we considering this through the word of the Lord? You know, so it says Job 34 and verse 25. It says, therefore he knoweth their works, and he turneth them in the night, so that they are destroyed. He striketh them as wicked men in the open sight of others, but they turn back from him and will not consider his ways. So they cause the cry of the poor to come unto him, and he heareth the cry of the afflicted. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. It says, affliction shall not rise up the second time. Nahum, the first chapter, and the second verse. It says, here's the cry of the afflicted, Job 34 and 28. It says, Nahum 2 and 1 and 2, it says, the Most High is jealous. The Most High is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth and is furious. If the Lord was a Christian guy, you know, one of these, like Jesus, or, like these other philosophies they've taught, Jake, then he would have just, turned a blind eye to all his madness. No, it says what? He's revengeth. He's jealous for who? The controversy of the daughter of Zion. There must be tabs that must be paid, you know. There must be recompense. So it says the Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he will reserve wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger. Yeah, 2,000 plus years, man, of slow anger. That's only 2 days with the Lord. You know, for 2 days, for instance, let's say somebody popped your girl or somebody disrespect your kids, slap the shit out of your kids at school. You're gonna wait 2 days to go down there to the school. You're gonna wait 2 days? No, you're gonna go the very same, you're gonna do what you gotta do for your kids. They're getting abused. Your daughter got abused by some nigga, you know. What you gonna do? You're gonna sit there and wait for 2 days? That's gonna take a lot of patience, when you know who did it. You know who did it. You know the culprit. You know who was graping your daughter. Who was doing what not to your daughter. Most dudes not be able to control such an anger. But the Lord said he's slow to anger. That's why it says Hosea 6 and 2. After 2 days, he have revived us, and on the third day he was deliver us, he will save us. Hosea 6 and 2. It says first verse says, come, let us return to the Lord, for he hath torn and he will heal us. He hath smitten and he will bind us up. After 2 days he will revive us, breathe the spirit of life into you. And the third day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight, right? And the third day he will raise us up. So the Lord is slow to anger, Nahum 1 and 3, slow to anger, that's the proof. And great in power. And he will not at all acquit the wicked, even though it may take long. It says Habakkuk, the second chapter. Though it tarry, wait for it. And the vision yet for an appointed time, meaning the time that the Lord said, as it says in Job 14 and the 14th verse, says, all the days of my appointed time will I wait until my change come. What appointed time? The Lord's time, man. I tell you in the Lord's prayer, let thy will be done on earth, not as in heaven, not our own will. Okay, so it says the Lord have his way in the whirlwind. The Lord have his way in the whirlwind, not your way. This is not Burger King. Have it your way. This is the Lord's way. And in the storm and the clouds are the dust of his feet. It says he rebuked the sea and it maketh it dry, and dried up all the rivers, Bashan languages, and Carmel and the flower of Lebanon languages. The mountains quake at him, and the hills melt, and the earth is burnt at his presence. The Lord said, touch the land and it shall melt. Yeah, the world and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation? Right. That's why Ezra said, "Who shall abide in them days?" Right. As he seen the desolation of daughter Zion, he also seen the wealth of them at Babylon. But he also seen the downfall of them at Babylon. He also seen the Lord judging them. He said he seen the Lord come in the cloud with the thousands of heaven. He said he came on the Father's ship. The second Ezra, the 13th chapter. You know. Okay, so anywho, it said Nahum 1 and 6 says, who can stand before his indignation, and who can abide in the fierce of his wrath? His fury is poured out like the fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The clefts of the rock, he said, they will build, I'll throw down, right? The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overflowing flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. With an overflowing flood, the scriptures say, when these devils come in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up a standard, right? The Lord is going to meet him with equal opposite force, greater force. All right. The law of thermodynamics, what does it say? It say you got to, every action has an equal opposite reaction, right? There's a transference of power. When there's a imbalance in the world or in the cosmos, the Lord brings balance to this. The Lord said, a just way is his delight. So you so-called white people, you devils, and all you nations have brought about unbalance on the earth. All right, have brought unjust weight, which is an abomination to the Lord. So the Lord is going to recompense you with balance, man, with judgment, with vengeance. All right. Therefore, it says the 8th verse, Nahum 1 and 8. But with an overrunning flood, he will make an utter end of the place thereof, this place. And darkness shall pursue his enemies. The day of the Lord is darkness, not light, right? Amos, the 5th chapter. What do ye imagine against the Most High? He will make an utter end. Affliction shall not rise up the second time. That's the point. Affliction shall not rise up the second time, because this is the last time the affliction rise up against our people. The Lord said, wipe away all tears. Revelation 21st chapter. He said, wipe away all tears. That means that affliction shall not rise up the second time. Affliction, another word for desolation, catching hell. Catch desolation, sorrow, grief, personal affliction. That's desolation. That's affliction. 10th verse. For while they be folding together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fully dry. And there is one that's come out of thee that imagine evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet and likewise many, yet thus shall they be cut down when he shall pass through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now I'll break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds asunder. And the Lord hath given me a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown out of the house of thy gods. I will cut off the graven image and the molten image, and I'll make thy grave, for thou art vile. You got to die in this place. All right. Scripture say no undefiled thing can enter into the rest, right? No, 2 Corinthians 6:17, touch not the unclean thing, I receive you, right? The scripture say no more shall enter into thee the defiled that offend, right? Matter of fact, let's get that. No more shall enter into thee any that offend or defile. That's why 230 people get cut off and die. Zechariah, the 13th chapter, 7 verse, 8 verse on down. No more shall enter into thee any more the defiled, meaning the undesirables, the congregation of the dead. Proverbs 21:16. The man that wandered out the way, understand, remains in the congregation of the dead. Says, no more shall enter into thee. Revelation 21:27. Let's get that. They got the New King James. Why the hell do I want to read the New King James? All right. Have you ever heard me reading the New King James? I never read no New King James. I don't want the New King James. Give me the old King James, man. The old ways. Revelation, Jeremiah 6 and 16, man. Seek out the old path, swearing is the right way. The old way is the best way. Now, Revelation 21 and 25, it says, and the gates of it shall not be shut all at all by day, for there shall be no night there, and they shall bring the glory of the nations and the honor of the nations into it. The Lord said, consecrate, Micah 4 and 13. He will consecrate their substance unto the Lord of the whole earth. 27 verse. And there shall be in no wise, and shall no wise enter into it anything that defileth, neither whatsoever worketh an abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. So, side note, sidebar, these heathens will be in the kingdom, but they won't be. They're not gonna enter into the rest. They're not gonna be. They're just gonna work their asses off. They're not gonna. The script say the heathen enter into the inner court. You know, they can't enter into no inner court. They gotta be outside the court. It says a heathen, a Moabite, Ammonite should not enter into the kingdom to his 10th generation. All right, should not enter into the sanctuary until his 10th generation, meaning never. All right, these devils never gonna come into this thing. It says it's going nothing's gonna enter into it that defileth. All right, into the kingdom, being meaning holding that status of being an Israelite. You know, that's only gonna be for the sons of Zion. You know, starting with the elect, which is all spiritual. You know, so these devils are of the flesh, which are of the earth, which ultimately means that they're not fit for the master's use, and they're not fit for the kingdom of heaven. Neither is all of Israel fit yet until they be reborn again. Again, that's why I did that lesson the other day about being baptized by the Holy Spirit. Let's tell you Matthew 3 and 11. Um, John the Baptist made the statement, he that cometh is greater than I, whose shoes am not worthy to latch. He said, what? I baptize you with water, but he baptized by fire and the Holy Spirit. So those of us of our people that are not baptized by water or the Holy Spirit are baptized by fire. 2/3 are going to cut off and die, be cut off and die. But the third part I will bring through the fire. What's going to bring them through the fire? The word. Psalms 40 and 7. Lord, I come to the volume of the book is written to me. So that word is going to bring them through the fire and physically bring them through that fire. Spiritually, already comforting you, but physically, because this thing gonna turn physical, man. Like the song say, let's get physical. You know, this thing gonna turn physical. You know, and nobody's gonna be able to deny such a thing. You know, when they see somebody getting healed from their blindness. You know, like in John the 9th chapter, when they see somebody get raised from the dead, like Tabitha. You know, just a few examples. Because here it is, the Lord said, greater works you see me do, will ye do? You know, greater works. Because the knowledge is going to increase. Daniel the 12th chapter. The knowledge of the left-hand side have increased. So going back to the third law of thermodynamics and shit. Well, the here it is, the knowledge on the right-hand side has to increase because the knowledge on the right-hand side has, if in the eyes of the world, has been diminished. But see, the Lord said he spoke in a secret place in the shadow of his pavilion. He said he hid you for that time, you know, because here it is when his brothers was like, yeah, I got questions. I got questions. Well, yeah, well, the question's gonna be answered when the Lord raised up the right hand side, man. You know, that's why he said he made the statement, "Though not about questions and the gender stripes." You know, okay, because he already gave you everything you need, man. 1 John 2 and 20, you have an unction from the Holy One. You know all things, man. When you read Sirach 3 and 23, it says what? It says, "Be not uncurious and unnecessary matters, for more things are showed unto thee than men understand." All right. So we have all we need for salvation, you know, and we have all we need to defeat these devils, man. You know, it said what? If you have the faith of the mustard seed, you will tell this mountain to remove yonder place, and it will move itself, man. You know. So it says Nahum chapter 1 and yeah, Nahum chapter 1 and okay, 12 verse. Thus said the Lord, though they be quiet and likewise many, yet shall they be cut down, and when he passed through, though I have afflicted thee, I'll afflict thee no more. Though I have afflicted thee, I'll afflict thee no more. For now I'll break his yoke from off thee and will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord hath given me a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown out of the house of thy gods. I will cut off the graven image and the molten image. I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. Behold, upon the mountains, the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace, O Judah. Keep thy solemn feasts and perform thy vows. Keep the word, right? For the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. These devils. All right. Psalms 102 and verse 1, it says, a prayer of the afflicted, right? When he is overwhelmed and poureth out his complaint before the Lord, hear my prayer, Lord, and let my cry come unto thee. And here, hide not thy face from me in the day when I am in trouble. Yeah, because Jacob's trouble coming. Jeremiah, the 30th chapter, the 7th verse, right? That time's coming, a time like no other. Incline thy ear unto me. The Lord's got to incline his ear to us, the prayer of his servant. He's going to hear the prayer of his servant. In the day when I call, answer me speedily. For my days are consumed like smoke, and my bones are burnt as a hearth. It says, my heart is smitten and gathered like grass, so that I forgot to eat my bread. By reason of the voice of my groaning, my bones cleave unto me, to my skin. So like I am like a pelican in the wilderness. I am like an owl of the desert. I watch and I am as a sparrow alone on the housetop. My enemies reproach me all the day, and they that are mad against me are sworn against me. Yeah, like Paul, they had men taking oaths to swear to kill him. You know, so here it is. These devils have made. They've done that thing, man. They made pacts amongst themselves. We're gonna kill these devils. We're gonna get them. We're gonna get them. That's what the left hand side have done. They've made pacts with these devils. You know, that's where you get these vampire movies from. You gotta sell your soul to the devil. You know, and all this. They've communed with these devils, man, with the wicked left hand side to swear themselves against you as sworn enemies. You know. Um, so it says 9 verse 5, eating ashes like bread, caught hell, ate the bread defiled amongst the Gentiles, and mingle my drink with weeping, because of thy indignation and thy wrath, for thou hast lifted me up and cast me down. My days are like a shadow that declineth, for I am withered like grass. But thou, O Lord, shalt endure forever, and thy remembrance shall be unto all generations. Thou shalt rise and have mercy upon Zion, for the time to favor her, yet the same time has come. The set time has come. The vision is yet for what? An appointed time. But yet the Lord said what? It will come, though it tarry, wait for it. Now that set time has come, right? 2 Esdras 2 and 3 again. For I saw the desolation of Zion and the wealth of them that dwelt at Babylon, and my spirit was sore vexed or moved, so that I began to speak words full of fear to the Most High. I saw the desolation of Zion and the wealth of them that at Babylon. So as Ezra seen the desolation of Zion and the wealth of them at Babylon, the prophets also seen, David also seen what? What did he see? He seen the Lord arising and having mercy upon Zion. Psalms 102 and 13. It says, for the time to favor her, yeah, the set time has come. Back then wasn't the time to favor us. So what did the prophet see? Desolation. But now we see prosperity for the people after this trial period that we're going through. The Lord said he's going to cast 10 in prison 10 days. Only thou be faithful unto death, I'll give thee a crown of life. Right? So it says, 14 verse, Psalms 102 and 14. For thy servants take pleasure in her stones and favor the dust thereof. So the heathen shall fear the name of the Lord, and all the kings of the earth thy glory. When the Lord shall build up Zion, he shall appear in his glory. He will regard the prayer of the destitute and not despise their prayer. This shall be written for the generation to come. And the people which shall be created shall praise the Lord. For he hath looked down from the height of his sanctuary. Yeah, the people that be created after the kingdom, man. Because the niggas of today ain't praising the Lord, man. There's only a few, you know. They're sighing and crying in the midst of it, right? Ezekiel the 9th chapter 4 verse. For he hath looked down from the height of his sanctuary. From heaven did the Lord behold the earth, to hear the groaning of the prisoner, to loose those that are appointed to die, to declare the name of the Lord in Zion, not the name of Jesus, and his praise in Jerusalem. When the people are gathered together in the kingdoms to serve the Lord, he weakened my strength in the way, and he shortened my days. I said, oh my God, take me not away in the midst of my days. Thy years are throughout all generations. Of old thou hast laid the foundations of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thy hands. They shall perish, but thou shalt endure. Yeah, all of them shall wax old like a garment, as a vesture shalt thou change them, and they shall be changed. But thou art the same, thy years shall have no end, the ancient of days, right? No beginning, no end. And his people gonna have no beginning, no end. No end, I should say, because we had the beginning, but we don't have no end. A world without end. Tell you that in Isaiah 45:17. Israel shall be saved in the Lord, a world without end. All right. Okay, so it says, 27 verse, but thou art the same, thy years shall have no end. The children of thy servants shall continue, and their seed shall be established before thee. It says in Hosea, the first chapter, great shall be the day of Jeshurun. I believe it said, great shall be the seed of Jeshurun. Seeing great shall be. For some reason not popping up, man. What's up with this, man? Yeah, it should be this right here. Yeah. Hosea 1 and 11. It says, then shall the children of Judah and the children of Israel be gathered together and appoint themselves one head, and they shall come up out the land, for great shall be the day of Jezreel. Yeah, the seed of the righteous, the seed of the Yazari Allah, seed of the power. You know. So it says Psalms the 74th chapter in the first verse. It says, O Most High, why hast thou cast us off forever? Why doeth thy anger smoke against the sheep of thy pasture? Remember thy congregation, which thou hast purchased of old, the rod of thine inheritance, which thou hast redeemed, this Mount Zion wherein thou hast dwelt. Lift up thy feet onto the perpetual desolations, even all that the enemy have done wickedly in the sanctuary. Thy enemies roar in the midst of thy congregations. They set up their ensigns for signs. They roar in the midst of the congregations. Their spiritual man is mad, right? It says in Micah the third chapter, they judge for rewards, right? So their own enemies amongst your own people. Here it is. You got Esau in the midst of your own people. You got your own people killing themselves and doing all this madness, you know. So that enemies roar in the midst of that congregation. They set up ensigns for science. A man was famous according as he lifted up axes upon the thick trees, but now they break down the carved work, therefore at once with axes and hammers. They have cast fire into thy sanctuary. They have defiled by casting down the dwelling place of thy name to the ground, which is our people. They said in their hearts, let's destroy them together. They have burnt all the synagogues of the Most High in the land. We see not our signs. There is no more prophet, any more prophet. Neither is there any amongst us that knoweth how long. How long, you know, as Israel asked the Lord, how long, you know. Okay, why causest thou me to behold grievance, you know, so on and so forth. It says, O Most High, O Lord, how long shall the adversary reproach? Shall the enemy blaspheme thy name forever? Why withdrawest thou thy hand, even thy right hand? Pluck it out of thy bosom, for the Most High is my King of old, working salvation in the midst of the earth. Thou didst divide the sea by thy strength. Thou breakest the heads of the dragons in the water. Thou breakest the heads of Leviathan in pieces, and gavest him to be meat to the people inhabited in the wilderness. Thou didst cleave the mountain and the flood, and thou driest up mighty rivers. The day is thine, the night is also thine. Thou hast prepared the light and the sun. Thou hast set all the borders of the earth. Thou hast made summer and winter. Remember this, that the enemy have reproached, O Lord, and that the foolish people have blasphemed thy name. Oh, deliver not the soul of thy turtle dove unto the multitude of the wicked, because victory stand not in the multitude of the host, but victory come from him. As it said Maccabee 3, first Maccabee 3:19 verse, right about victory stand not in the multitude of the host, you know, but that victory comes from the heavens. So it says, deliver not the soul of thy turtle dove, thy beloved, unto the multitude of the wicked, and forget not the congregation of thy poor forever, because meek will inherit the earth, the poor. Have respect unto the covenant, for the dark places of the earth are full of the habitation of cruelty. Yeah, the dark places in the earth. It says they have walked in darkness, have seen a great light. Isaiah 9:2, right? For the dark places of the earth are full of the habitation of cruelty, a bunch of cruel niggas and demons, in this society, man. That's why it says that this place the cage of every hateful bird, unclean spirit, where the love of many wax cold, man. Our habitation is midst of this deceit, right? We live amongst none but cruelty, man. You know, the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel, right? But the wise man regards life as beast. These devils don't have no wisdom. Their wisdom is of the left hand side, was the Lord says foolishness. All right. So um it says, for the dark places of the earth are full of the habitation of cruelty. Oh, let not the oppressed return ashamed. Let the poor and needy praise thy name. Arise, O Most High, plead thy own cause, because this is his cause, right? Which he created. He created this hell. He created the salvation. He created the curses. He also created the blessings. He created Satan, and he also created the right hand. His son Yahushua and the angels, Michael, Uriel, Gabriel. Right? He created both. Yeah, Lord. If they be even the city, our Lord have done it. Right? Arise, O Most High. Psalms 34 and 22. Plead thy own cause. Remember how the foolish man reproacheth thee daily. And forget not the voice of thy enemies. The tumult of those that rise up against thee increase continually. The tumult of these devils that rise up against thee increases continually. Just like as Pharaoh did. Pharaoh's heart was hardened that the Lord may humble him. So these devils, same thing, man. They're being hardened so that the Lord can humble their asses and being enlarged, because the Lord likes a drama. He likes to take down the mighty, you know, like David and Goliath, right? So Psalms 46 and 1. The Most High is our refuge and strength, a very pleasant help in trouble. Therefore, we will not fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried in the midst of the sea. Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Desolation, it says what? Shall come upon thee on every side, but it shall not come nigh thy dwelling. The plague, I think it's Psalms 91, shall not come nigh thy dwelling. 1,000 shall fall at thy right hand, 10,000, you know, 1,000 fall at thy left, 10,000 thy right, but it shall not come nigh thy dwelling. Plague come nigh. Um, Psalms 91 and 10. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come near thy dwelling. He shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. All right. So, it says the 7th verse, 1,000 shall fall at thy side and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. There you go. Psalms 91 7. Yep. That's the one I wanted. So it says Psalms 46 and verse 4. It says, there's a river and the streams thereof shall make glad the city of the Most High, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. The Most High is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. The Most High shall help her, and that right early. The heathen raged and imagined a vain thing, right? It says Psalms 2 and 1. Why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing? The heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolation he had made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the ends of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am the Most High. I will be exalted amongst the heathen, and I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The Most High God of Jacob is our refuge. The power of Jacob is our refuge, Selah. Not the refuge of lies that will be swept away with the fearful constellation. I tell you in Isaiah 28:15 on down to the 17-18 verse. All right. So it says Isaiah 46 and 1, or that thou wouldest rend the heavens, that thou wouldest come down, that the mountains might flow down at thy presence. As when the melting fire burneth, the fire causes the waters to boil, to make thy name known to thy adversaries. That's why the Lord gonna cause these waters to boil, including you. You're gonna boil. All right, you demons out there, man. And you unfaithful, all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, right? That the nations may tremble at thy presence. When thou didst when thou didst terrible things, which we looked not for, thou camest down, the mountains flowed down at thy presence. For since the beginning of the world, men have not heard nor perceived by the ear, neither have seen, O Most High, beside thee what he hath prepared for him that waited for him. Thou meetest him that rejoiceth and worketh righteousness, those that remember thee in thy ways. Behold, thou art wroth, for we have sinned, and those is continuance, and we shall be saved. But we are all as an unclean thing, and all our righteousness are as filthy rags, and we do fade as the leaf, and our iniquities like the wind have taken us away. And there is none that calleth upon thy name that stirreth up himself to take hold of thee, for thou hast hid thy face from us, and hast consumed us because of our iniquities. But now, O Lord, thou art our Father, and we are the clay, and thou art the potter, and we are all the work of thy hands. Be not very wroth, very sore wroth, neither remember, O Lord, iniquity forever. Behold, we beseech thee, we are thy people. Thy holy cities are a wilderness, Zion is a wilderness, and Jerusalem a desolation. Our holy and beautiful house, where our fathers praised thee, is burnt up with fire, and all our pleasant things are laid waste. Wilt thou remain thyself for these things, O Lord? Will thou refrain thyself for these things, O Lord? And wilt thou hold thy peace and afflict us very sore? And the answer is no. The Lord is not going to hold his peace any longer. He said, I have long time holding my peace, but I will hold my tongue as touching their wickedness. All right. Long time holding my peace. That's in the 2 Corinthians 15. Long time holding my peace. The Lord held his peace for an extended period of time, man. 2,000 years, over 2,000 years. But now we're in that third day. You know, Isaiah 42 and verse 13, the Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself, but now I will cry like a travailing woman, and I will destroy and devour at once. And I'll make mountains waste hills and dry up all their herbs, and I'll make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools. And I will bring up the blind, which is us, by a way that they knew not, and I will lead them into paths that they have not known. For I'll make darkness light before them, and crooked things straight. These things I will do unto them, and not forsake them. As I tell you, and Hebrews 13th chapter, he said, I will never leave thee, I will not forsake thee. What did he say? The 5th verse. Hebrews 13 and 5, it says, let your conversation be without covetousness and be content, so like a content with such things as ye have, for he have said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. Okay, so Isaiah 44 and verse 16 again, these things I will do unto them and not forsake them. Who can make a crooked thing straight? The Lord said, only he, right? Who can make a crooked thing straight? I will make darkness light before them and crooked things straight. These things I will do unto them and not forsake them. So, um, okay. Isaiah 60 and verse 11. Therefore, thy gates shall be open continually, and they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the force of the Gentiles, that their kings may be brought again. Micah 4:13. Will consecrate their substance unto the God of the whole earth. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yet those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, the box tree together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary, and I'll make the place of my feet glorious. The sons of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call thee the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated, so that no man went through thee, I'll make thee an eternal excellency, a joy of many generations. Thou shalt suck the milk of the Gentiles and shalt suck the breast of kings, and thou shalt know that I, the Lord, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob, not anybody else. For brass I'll bring thee gold, and for iron I'll bring silver, and for wood brass, and for stones iron. I'll also make thy officers peace, and thy exactors righteousness. Violence shall no more be heard in thy land, neither wasting nor destruction within thy borders. Thou shalt call thy walls salvation, and thy gates praise. And the sun shall no more be thy light by day, nor brightness Not for brightness shall the moon give light unto thee, but the Lord shall be unto thee an everlasting light and the God of thy glory. Does that mean the Lord's going to remove the sun and the moon from off of us? No, the Lord said he made it to be perpetual, the moon, and a light that decreaseth in her perfection in Sirach, the 43rd chapter. So that's talking about understanding. That's never gonna go down on us. All right. The light that now shineth, you know. So it says 21st verse, that people shall all be righteous. That's when we're in the new covenant. Not here, because we're not all righteous. We don't, and we wouldn't be teaching if we were. For all know me, from the least to the greatest, right? That people shall all be righteous, they shall inherit the land forever, the branch of my planting, the work of my hands, that I may be glorified. I said, my glory I will not give to another. Said, a little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten in his time. In what time? This time. The appointed time. I said, Proverbs 3:24, when thou liest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of sudden fear, neither of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. Be not afraid of the desolation of sudden fear, neither the desolation of the wicked when it cometh. And it's here, right? For the Lord shall be thy confidence. Isaiah 33:6, wisdom now shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. For the Lord shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thy hand to do it. So the Lord got this power, and he's not going to withhold this anymore, man. The Lord's going to be our confidence. So be not afraid of the desolation of the wicked when it cometh, for the Lord is going to root out his tabernacle, man. All right. Going to root this thing out his tabernacle. His confidence be rooted out his tabernacle, as we said. So Isaiah 17:9, in that day shall his strong cities be a forsaken bow, and the uttermost branch which they left because of the children of Israel, there shall be desolation. Because thou hast forgotten the God of thy salvation, and has not been mindful of the rock of thy strength. Therefore shalt thou plant pleasant plants, and shall set in strange slips. In that day thou shalt make the plant to grow. In the morning shalt thou make thy seed to flourish, but the harvest shall be a heap in the day of grief and desperate sorrow, because of the desolations that 2 Ezra 3:2 read, right? Now, woe to the multitudes of many people which make a noise like the noise of the sea, to the rushing of the nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. That's all these people. The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but the Most High shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off. And he shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. Deuteronomy 28:7 again. He shall chase them what? 7 ways before thee. The Lord shall cause thy enemies, Deuteronomy 28:7, to rise up against thee, to be smitten before thy face, and they shall come out against thee 1 way, and they'll flee 7 ways before thee, a complete number of ways. All right, they can't do nothing against thee. The heathen shall envy thee. So that gives you the 2nd chapter. They shall be never to do nothing against thee. All right. So the nations, Isaiah 17:13, shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but the Most High shall rebuke them, and they shall flee afar off, and shall be chased as the chaff of the mountains before the wind, and like a rolling thing before the whirlwind. Behold, at evening tide trouble, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. All right. It said in Wisdom of Solomon 5:1, this is the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such has afflicted him, and made no account of his labors. So what? This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. So these devils have spoiled us, made no account of our labors. That also applies to our people too, not just the white man. All right. Because the righteous man stand in great boldness against everybody, against these wicked niggas, against the Esau, against everybody, the wicked, against the nations. Psalm 94:16. Who shall stand up against me against the workers of iniquity? Against the evildoers? Who will rise up against me against the evildoers? You know. So this is the portion of them that spoil us and rob us. The Lord gonna rebuke them and make them flee against us 7 ways. They come against us 1 way, they're gonna flee 7 ways. Deuteronomy 28:7, man. So Zephaniah 2:1, gather yourselves together, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before this thing comes to pass, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he's near. Isaiah 55:6, right? All ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment, seek ye righteousness, seek meekness, that it may be, ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. For Gaza shall be forsaken, Ashkelon shall be a desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday. The least of the flock shall draw them out, right? Jeremiah 49, chapter we just read earlier. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. Woe unto the inhabitants of the sea coast, the nation of the Chetherites. The word of the Lord is against you, all these nations. O Canaan, the land of the Philistines, I will even destroy thee, that there shall be no inhabitants. And the sea coast shall be dwellings and cottages for shepherds and folds for the flocks. What flocks? Flocks of the Lord, man. The shepherds, right? They're going to get their dwelling places, cottages, meaning you're going to be living in a little cottage. You're going to be living in palaces, chateaus, and, villas, mansions, living the high life, man. Again, for that dross, for that iron, that what the Lord said, I'll bring the gold and silver, for that captivity, you know. I just read earlier now, the 7th verse, and the coast shall be for the remnant of the house of Judah, and they shall feed thereupon. In the house of Ashkelon shall they lie down in the evening. Again, Micah 4:3, 4 and 13. We're gonna consecrate their substance unto the God of the whole earth, man. And they shall lie down in the evening, for the Lord their power shall visit them and turn away their captivity. I have heard the reproach of Moab and the revilings of the children of Ammon, whereby they have reproached my people and magnified themselves against their border. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, surely Moab shall be as Sodom, destroyed, and children of Ammon as Gomorrah, burnt. Even the breedings of nettles and saw pits and a perpetual desolation, the residue of my people shall spoil them. The elect of my people shall spoil them, and the remnant of my people shall possess them. In the house of the Lord, as it says in Isaiah 14, for handmaids and for slaves, man. This shall they have for their pride, because they have reproached and magnified themselves against the people of the Lord of hosts. The Lord will be terrible unto them, for he will famish all the gods of the earth, and men shall worship him, everyone from his place, in all the isles of the heathen. Ye Ethiopians also, ye shall be slain by my sword. And he will stretch out his hand against the north and destroy the Assyrian, and will make Nineveh a desolation and dry like a wilderness. And flocks shall lie down in the midst of her, and the beasts of the nations, all the beasts of the nations. Both the cornmeal and the bittern shall lodge in the upper lintels of it. Their voice shall sing in the windows. Desolation shall be in the thresholds, for he shall uncover the cedar work. This is the rejoicing city that doeth carelessly, that said in her heart, I am, and there is none besides me. How has she become a desolation, a place for a beast to lie down in? Everyone that passed by her shall hiss and wag his hand, man, to see the desolations of this place. How she become a desolation? As she became a desolation, as we became a desolation, therefore she must become a desolation. As it says in Nahum, the first chapter, man, in Lamentation, the first chapter, I should say. We have seen the city sitting in solitary that was full of people. How she become a widow? Now the widowhood gonna come on these devils, which is a perfect recompense, which the Lord revengeth and is jealous for the controversy of the daughter of Zion. So 2 Esdras 2 and 3 and 2 again. For I saw the desolation of Zion and the wealth of them that are dwelt at Babylon, and my spirit was sore moved, so that I began to speak words full of fear to the Most High. All right, which Lord willing, this comforting to you, edifying to you, and exhorting to the desolate of the daughter of Zion, which are sighing and crying for the abominations that are done in the midst of this place, man. So that recompense, that vengeance coming soon for those that wait upon the Lord. It says, I have not seen, ear have not heard for them that wait upon them. All right. With the things the Lord had prepared for him that wait upon them, man. So with that, say call Halayim Lai Hawa Bahashim, Yahawashai Bahashim, Kakwadash. That belongs to our apostle elders, great Muslim, towards his true peace, salutations to you elect out there, man. Shalom. Shalom.